You ever feel like just murdering every single copper in your path? And we have the game just for you. Trample, jizz, and tackle them at the speed of sound. Obliterate their artillery and cause several thousands of indirect casualties. Start your own gang of spray paint huffing psychopaths and take over the streets by marking your territory and terrorizing the public. A literal harbinger of destruction on wheels, blasting nothing but the sickest postmodern ravecore tracks. It's Jet Set Radio Future. Shit's on a whole nother level compared to the last game. Sega was doing soft reboots before it was cool to do one every 9 months, opting in for a fresh take on the franchise, a new look, sound, and experience, absolutely drenched in a Y2K style this side of Rez. Watch that fucking video, I worked hard on it. Controls have been fine-tuned for a better feel. Skating the streets feels a lot more smoother with seamless turning and lightweight platforming. You can now brake and pivot at a moment's notice when caught up in a high-speed chase. Speed you can now build up by performing tricks on rails in mid-air, like an X Games athlete with spastic cerebral palsy. There's a meaner emphasis on movement, as the challenge now comes from navigating and platforming as opposed to doing obnoxious QTEs while being chased by the entirety of Japan's military. Tagging walls is made simpler, as all you have to do now is hold down the trigger while near the area. There's still the odd Simon Says challenge, but the game doesn't really give a shit how you do them. Just get those filthy fucking Neanderthals off the street. If you have enough spray cans lying around, you can use them for a boost, so you don't lose races after tripping over a pebble, as collision is a lot more lenient. You still keep all your momentum, and instead just molest the fuck out of whatever you end up crashing into, which won't be much of an issue as there isn't a single square feet of room without a rail or wall to grind up on. Areas have been scaled up to feel like a proper sandbox, with an almost Metroidvania approach to HUD design. There's a lot more going on in terms of scope and visual design. A bigger focus on verticality as well, that while impressive can be seriously frustrating when doing any sort of platforming. Sky Dinosaur being a sprawling skyscraper of a roller coaster and where you get to chase down a group of futuristic volcells. Real cool sounding in design, but extremely impractical when you get to play it, boiling down to several long base jumps to the pavement and an eventual abuse of spawns and AI to beat it. You can see how the team definitely favored visual design more than anything else in the game, and you can't really blame them because they did a phenomenal job. The surreal elements are a nice touch, like the fact that all the housing districts are all made to look like stretches of houses stacked like a landfill. It's because we're all trapped, we're all boxed up in a small little cube and we need to break free to the city, which look noticeably stunning in comparison. A downright impeccable use of color theory that fit any kind of mood, tone, or vibe with its flat lighting and texture work. Some of these environments are downright gorgeous, especially when upscaled to something like 4K. Even as a launch window game, it manages to be the best looking game on the Xbox.
Niggas trying to talk about Halo. Man, they best rename that shit to Galo.
Sadly, I can't say the same for how some of the characters turned out. You got some real lookers like Beat, Yo-Yo, and questionable self-insert Clutch, all sporting a sleek look with some Jinko tier sag. And then you have DJ K, looking like a serial date rapist with the Uggo chain and used Q-Tip's hairline.
Baby, that looks like a dildo.
The ladies are kinda weird as they were given looks with a lot more appeal. They all show off a lot more skin, and in the case of Gum, a fat fucking cleavage with a panty shot to boot. I mean, I'm the last one to complain about this sort of shit, but like, when you have shit like mused red titty brace over a dress that just looks fucking hideous, like, you just can't, man. The rest of the characters are pretty alright. Aside from Combo just looking like a bigger Garum, each character still sports a look unique to them. My favorite being Jazz, with her dumb scarf that doesn't make any sense, but I'm biased towards short-dyed hair. I also dig the new police chief in town. Hayashi's the same old jobber, but just a little bit more unhinged.
Kill them all!
Strange man with a gaunt, expressionless face, a fuck-off pistol, and the entire police unit at his command. He doesn't pull any punches as he starts sending military-grade tanks the second he catches you lacking. And if you played the first game, then you already know half the shit that goes down, as there's not much added. Except for the fucking eclectic music! Mr. Mr. Cleveland Brown himself is still in charge of composing and selecting tracks, and his shit's his best work bar none. His tracks are most of what you hear early on, and it's the shit most people know, like the universal understanding of the concept of love. Some OG tracks are remade, but they all fall flat on their face, because who gives a shit when there's fucking birthday cake? I made a video on this album, check it out. The second half of the soundtrack is comprised of a lot of edgier, harder tracks, and they're all as dated as dick cheese. Lots of hard techno, rock, and rap music, with M-bombs and all. The kind of shit your older loser cousin listened to.
Get up, heartbeat. Get up, heartbeat. Heartbeat. Get up, heartbeat.
These tracks were mostly handled by the Lodge Brothers, a Beastie Boys side project that helped record tracks for Mars. Are you fucking kidding me?
Music, never heard it before. Music, never heard it.
Pretty good. Naganuma also put down a few harder sound tracks, my favorite being Techno Pathetic with its frenetic beat and pitched up vocal snips. So yeah, shit's a 10 out of 10. I'll await your several hundred copyright strikes. Jet Set Radio Fudanari is one of the many examples of a true bona fide sequel. It brings a lot of both needed and appreciated additions, elevating the original while it's also taking it into a brand new direction. It's criminal that both of these games ultimately sold like shit, and it bothers me that it had to be this way. Then again, I don't blame them with an advert like this. I can't fucking listen to the music with so many sound effects, and I can't see shit! A bit of a forewarning for anyone looking to try it out, the game still plays best on original hardware. Results with emulation both on 360 and PC may vary. I tried playing on 360 with the combo disc, and shit was chugging non-stop. It was almost unplayable. The only other choice I had was using CXPX, but I found out that it didn't favor rising CPUs that much, so I ended up with frequently slow and choppy footage. 99 Street is this game's version of Blighttown. All that bullshit aside though, I still urge people to try this out any way they can, since I don't think Sega is ever gonna get off their ass and pay for licensing anytime soon.